Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tlatoani, where last episode we were attacked extraordinarily heavily. And we're working on it. We're working on getting another barracks going here. We're working on getting another fortress online. And we could probably use some additional production of weapons and armor. To that end, I'm going to take a road out this direction. I'm thinking about like this. And I want to put in an additional armorer here. In fact, I'm going to double our overall amount of these. So I'm going to put an armorer here, here, and here. And then I'm going to do a road around like this. And then I'm going to do blade nappers right up over here. Here, here, and here. And then a road coming around like that. Then I want to have a stone quarry about right here. So that stone quarry will work on some of these outcrops up over here, and that should be absolutely fine. We're still working on rebuilding from the previous attacks, but it wasn't as bad as some of the other ones. Our main issue right now is our debt, and to that end, we have to cut our imports. So we're not going to import any salt. I think we're going to avoid importing clay for the moment as well. I don't know if we need any clay for the armors and the blade nappers. We do. Hopefully we've got enough clay in stock at this moment. We do have 226. So hopefully we've got enough to get all of this rebuilt. We're just not importing additional things for the moment. We need to get... Okay. An invading army has arrived. They are... Where? I do not see them. Ah, down here. Okay. So they're coming in this way again. That's understood. For the time being, then, I'm going to tell them, do not bother to build these houses. The rest of this is quite necessary. So let's get all of this going. And we currently can disband this, but I do want to re-rally our troops. I'm going to put them up over here. We don't have any troops to rally right now. Why is that the case? Hang on. Why can we not rally any troops with captains? Do we not have any captains? One of two, and one of two. Okay, I know we've been attacked a lot lately, but... Hopefully, we'll be able to get that done. We do need to get our finances under control, so we got to raise our taxes a little bit. We'll get that going. And where's our tax collectors right now? Do we have any? I don't actually see any tax collectors. That could be part of that problem. So we can start trying to put one in. That would be somewhere around here, perhaps. That requires a scenic neighborhood, though, and that's not considered scenic. Maybe out over here is scenic? No. Maybe out over here is scenic. Actually, here is considered scenic. Here is considered scenic. But not along any of these roads. Okay. Well, for the time being, we've got bigger problems, right? We need to get our armies rallied. And apparently, we don't have any captains. I don't know why it's telling us that we don't have any captains, because I don't believe that that's true. And these guys are on their way in. So that's exciting. Very exciting indeed. So they're going to be arriving very soon. And the question is, do we now have captains? Okay, we have one captain available right now. So it must just be that this is way too recently from last time we got wiped. These guys are attacking so frequently. It's insane how frequently they're attacking. So for the time being, we're just kind of chilling and letting them approach. They're working on it. But I want to come in and I want to defend right about here. And I guess just with this unit. I guess we're lacking additional units for now. So I'm checking through these homes for the time being. We do have a lot of additional room still for people to move in. So I'm guessing these constant attacks have done extreme damage to our population, right? That's the current theory, the going theory at this point. So we have these cotton weavers right up over here. I'm wondering where they're getting cotton buds. Okay, from there. So this is definitely going to be exciting. No doubt about it. I would love to have more captains up here, but as of right now, we don't have any. So this is going to be pretty painful. No doubt about it. That said, they're attacking some of our buildings instead of some of our units. But this is going to hurt. A lot. Okay. We're actually doing kind of okay here. So we beat them. And of course, these are all armorers down over this way. We don't have any salt coming in, so I'm actually not going to immediately rebuild those. The Sawyer up over here, I would like to rebuild. And then these are common homes. But because we have no salt incoming, for now, this is all armorer down here. And that's okay. We'll just leave that be for the time being. So we didn't actually lose all that much there. That was very good. I'm actually quite pleased with how that went. We are currently slightly positive in our finances. That's great. And as far as getting this area up over here a little bit more scenic, I'm going to upgrade this to stone road, this block right here. Just that block. So then the idea is I want to put in a collector right here. That is going to require some clay, and that's absolutely understood. So we'll get that going. We have our own source of stone, so I'm not terribly concerned about that. And our losses were not too bad in that last run. So that seems good. So we're still getting food up over here. I want to unpause these. We'll get those going. But our main issue right now is finances. We got to get our finances under control. That's for sure. Apparently, this section of road was destroyed. Okay, sure. So that's absolutely fine for now. We'll get that put back in. And up over here, we've now got this stone road. So the question is, can we put in a collector here now? Yes, and that will reach the majority of our homes. It won't reach this home, and it won't reach these up here. But for now, that's okay. Oh, they took out our herbalist over here. That's very rude. Okay, so we'll put that back in. And then, at this point, we want to start putting the armorers back. So we'll get that going. And we've got that collector now. So we're out assessing tax, and that will start making us some money. That's good. So we're providing some civil service at this point. And that'll start making us some tax monies. So, hang on. There's where all of our captains were. Okay, well, we got it handled. So that sounds great. I do think more housing down over here makes a lot of sense. We have a lot of buildings over here that just don't have staff, right? So I'm thinking right now, a common home here and here, and that's it for now, up in this direction. We're going to be running low on clay. There's no doubt about that. But we do have these farmers' huts online now, and we're slowly working on it. So we do need a market down over this way. Our main problem is we really need to get this built down here. So I'm going to unpause this porter yard, and I'm also going to build a porter yard somewhere around right here. And that's going to be getting clay, stone, and timber for right now. Okay, so let's get that online. Our main problem right now remains finances. We gotta get our finances under control. So our cotton is starting to come in at this point, and we're not actually making any cotton, but we do have cotton buds in this porter yard. So that should be coming up over here and then being delivered to these cotton weavers, in theory. We're also finally starting to get some exports rolling. So that's very, very good. We got to get this debt taken care of. That is of an exceptionally high priority. There's a fire in the city. That's not that big of a deal right now. We've got well dippers nearby. Okay, so that's all going reasonably well. We need to get more farms online, of course. These are still working on scaling up. And I would love to get these farms online down over here, but I just feel like we can't defend them at this moment. That's why we're building this border yard into this border yard, so that hopefully we get all of this down here built. We can even put an additional border yard, like right about here. And this would be clay, stone, and timber. With the idea being, we just got to feed this area down over here, right? So that's understood. We've got additional people training at this point, and disband that. There we go. And at this point, we've got these armorers and blade nappers theoretically working, but we need to import salt. As of right now, I don't feel like importing salt is a good idea. I do want to come in here and cut down our taxes down to 10%. We weren't assessing the taxes previously, right? So bringing it down is probably a good idea. I'm also wondering, can we build an additional collector somewhere out over this way? It could technically go in here. If we did that and we connected it like this, it would reach all of these except that one. So that's not quite what we need. I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to upgrade this road here to a stone road, like that. And then once that's in, theoretically, then we may be able to put a collector here. And I think that will be able to reach this house, which will be a good thing. So we're working on coming out of debt. We haven't been attacked for a little while, so that's good. We don't really have a market down over this direction, and we should probably have one. We could put one, like, up here, or we could put it down here, and I feel like this is a better place for it, ultimately. So we could put a market, like, there, and then a market somewhere around here, like that. But this one would be halted. We don't want to build this yet. We still have some clay in stock. That's good. We need to work through our deficit of structures at this moment, but everything is looking reasonably good. We haven't started building our stone road over here yet, so that's definitely noted. And our food is still dire at this moment. There's no way around it. Our food is not great. So I'm going to unhalt all of this out over here. I'm wondering about the road situation here. Interesting. So these should be regular canals. One there and one there. And then, of course, roads passing over them like that. Okay, there we go. So I'd like to get these farms online here. These are going to be food as well. So we can start immediately on those. We're going to put in a farmer's hut here, and this is, of course, going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Not here. And then we're going to do maize fields over the rest of it. And then we'll do a farmer's hut here as well. We got to get more food production online. That's very clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then maize fields all throughout here. We also really need to get this construction out here completed. This is absolutely imperative that we get this done. So I'm thinking right now that we need to have a bit better of a connection down here. Although this actually does connect here. This doesn't really connect out over here, though. So I'm thinking we're going to need another porter yard about here or so. And that's going to be clay, stone, and timber. We're going to be getting all of those. And then that connects here. And then another one about right here. Because we have to push our construction down this way, right? We're trying to really, really expand our construction down this direction. So we're going to get those going. And hopefully we'll actually get around to building them. That would be nice. Do porter yards require clay? They do not. That's a big deal. Okay. So far, so good. Our finances are looking better. We've not been attacked for a little while. We definitely have weapons production going at this point. Our armor production, not so great. We need salt, of course. For now, I kind of want to just export cotton. So we've got these cotton weavers up over here, right? And this down over here is getting cotton buds. This should actually be getting cotton, shouldn't it? We import, yeah, directly cotton down here, not cotton buds. Okay, get those cotton buds out of there. Move them up to this border yard. That'll be much better. So, we can probably run additional cotton weavers off of our 3 farms that we have right now, and hunger is rampant. Yeah, we're working on it. We've got additional farms going in down here, but people aren't very eager to build down here at this moment. That's understood. We could definitely have a road that comes down kind of along this cliff face. Kind of like that. That might shorten this path a little bit. So let's get that going, and we could also have a pack of housing down over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 houses. That looks good. And then down this direction, we can put in a sweeper about here and about here, and then a sentry post here and here. Why is this a sweeper? No, I meant to do a sentry post. Sentry post here and here, and then a well dipper somewhere down over this way that would reach all of these. And then maybe another one right up over here that would reach all of these houses. So we'll get that going, but clay is still a concern. We have to come out of debt. That's our main goal right now. What do cotton weavers cost to build? Let's see. They do cost a little clay, but we have some clay in stock. So I'm going to put in cotton weavers like that, and then we're going to just run this road around like so. We'd like to get more cotton weavers in here. We have citizens leaving due to hunger. We're working on it. We'd love to get people to actually build down over here, but it's taking a little time. So that's absolutely understood. Resource flow is definitely not great. I'm going to turn on our import of clay again. I feel like we're doing substantially better in terms of our clay, or rather our finances at this point, but it's still not great. So this collector is strained. I'm not surprised about that. I wouldn't mind putting in another collector somewhere around here. That does require a scenic neighborhood, so it's not really a good spot for it. That's understood. For now, I think it's fine that this is strained. At least we've got some axe monies coming in that way. But we're definitely struggling a bit here. Okay, they're going to arrive from the southeast. So that's going to be this side again. So there's another army on the way, and they're going to be coming up this direction. We'll see if they destroy any of this. They'll probably destroy our farmers' huts, but how many troops do we have to rally at this point? This is quite a lot. We've got 25 troops to rally. Okay. I kind of want to meet them at, like, this side of this choke point. Something like that. So we'll get our troops down over here. They're going to be arriving eventually. I don't think they destroy the granary, so that's going to be interesting for sure. But we really need to get all of this online, right? So that means we need to expand down this way, and we just need to be bringing in some clay at this point. And there's some clay, so that's good. So the army has arrived, and southeast. Right. This is definitely feeling like southwest to me, but sure. So we're going to instead come and defend up over here. Let's go. So they're going to be attacking up over this way this time. And let's move into about here. There we go. These are huge armies that they're attacking with. No doubt about that. Absolutely enormous armies. And they're attacking us and we're not attacking them for some reason. I don't know why we're not attacking them, but we weren't. So that was exciting. Very exciting. I wish we'd build our walls. That would be nice, but alas, that's not a thing. Apparently. Also not a thing is attacking the enemy. We just stood there and let them kill us this time. So, I don't really have an explanation for that. It's definitely rough. Combat in this game is just very weird in general, the way that it works. Your guys make very dumb decisions. Even if you've got walls, they often like abandon the walls and just come fight out in front of the walls for some reason. So eventually we'll get them to leave, but this is going very poorly because our troops just decided not to fight back for some reason. I don't have an explanation for what that reason is. Interesting that they don't attack our military structures, isn't it? That's very interesting. Well, our food production is still online. That's what really matters. These guards are doing nothing. They're just running in place. So this is going very, 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 very badly. Our guys are just doing nothing. There's apparently a riot in the city. I'm not surprised about that. I don't blame them for rioting in this situation, to be honest. So yeah, this is really rough. Our troops just decided we don't fight at this point. That's exciting. I don't know why. They just didn't fight back. They just allowed themselves to be slaughtered. So that was weird. I think we might have to reload. Whenever the last autosave was, probably. So let's try that. Let's reload at the last autosave. That would have been this save, I think. That's not that far behind. So let's go ahead and load that. Okay, so we can see here is our troops right here. I'm going to have them pull back, actually. Now they're fighting. Yeah, they're actually fighting this time. That's interesting. They weren't fighting last time. I think we're still losing this. But we did much better this time. Much, much better. Yeah, we still lost it. These are absolutely huge armies that they're attacking with. But at least our guys are fighting this time. Hopefully we'll see them. Yeah, they're starting to break now. Some of their forces have broken. So I think that must have been a bug because our troops just would not fight. Now our troops are kind of fighting. Some of them are, anyway. And they're making a lot less progress this time. So that's good. Although we're still really struggling. We did kick out one of their armies, and I feel like their others are very close to breaking. I also feel like we should probably go on the offensive at some point, but I really want to get our walls built. I feel like that would be very useful. Alas, we're just not interested in building walls, even though we have lots of stone. So that is very sad, of course. And eventually we should get these guys to leave. They've always left in the past, in the end. Sure, they might do a lot of damage. But we can see that their health is relatively low. This guy's fighting. But he's not our guy. Okay. Noted. Couldn't see the health bar there. This guy's our guy. He's fighting. Okay, so he took down this guy. So that's fine. Yeah. There's a fire in the city. One of our granaries is this one. That's going to be a little exciting to get to, but we've still got this whole section of our city. I think we're okay this time. The main issue previously was just our troops decided not to fight for whatever reason. They just filed in and died. They didn't throw a single spear. But now we've got all of these guys up over here. They just came back from protecting a caravan, and they are doing some work. So we just routed another one of these armies. And this up over here is all common homes. That's all understood. But we're, at this point, starting to kick them back out. So that looks good. They're going to flee very soon here. We can see there's these guys up over here. Yeah. We've got this under control now. I didn't do anything differently, to be honest. All I did was reload the save, and our troops actually fought this time. I have to assume that's an early access bug of some sort. Okay, so damage definitely occurred. There's no doubt about that. Let's disband this, and we're going to have to repair this. So this is a stone quarry down over here. That goes right there. This was a porter stop, and that porter stop was clearly to supply this with weapons and armor. There we go. Down over here, these were all common homes, so we'll get those rebuilt. They really like destroying our residential districts for some reason. Common homes right up over here. They destroyed 3 of our farmers' huts, so I'm just going to do this, this, and this. I'm not going to bother about the fact that they're technically different plots. I'm not going to regrow all of that. There's no point. So that seems fine. These are common homes here, so that's not a very big deal to replace. These are all common homes. These are all common homes. So they basically just destroyed homes. That last one up over here was an herbalist, and that is probably fine to rebuild right now, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's the damage. That doesn't seem too bad. We'll get that going, and we'll get our troops replenished. Our might is quite low at this point, no doubt about it. And I'd very much like to get this all solved. I don't know why that guy just ran all the way through our city and died, but okay, sure. So that seems reasonably fine, but we need to continue to work on building out all of this stuff, right? Clay is a big lack for us, no doubt about it, but I feel like we're doing much better now. I'd like to be importing salt, but we just can't afford to do it. We really just can't. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to get this all rebuilt and continue to boost up our defenses at this point. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. I just realized we need a granary up over here to feed these, so we'll just do something like that. There we go. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Rornaz, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.